All right, more Sony shit. Yo, what up, Russ here? And Sony just keeps coming with the news. Sony dropped another state of play, and there was quite a lot in there. Not gonna lie, stuff dealing with releases for the later part of the year, new updates coming for games, more talk about PS5 Pro, and just a lot of games. So I'm gonna go ahead and recap this whole thing for you guys. First things first. There are a couple of new colors coming to the PS5 and the controllers as well. We have Indigo, Pearl, and Teal. They call it the Chroma Collection. And to be honest, these colors look pretty cool. It seems like they're having a lot of their marketing behind these DualSense controllers and these limited editions, because in addition to these colors, there's also a Fortnite limited edition controller announced, and of course, you know, the Astrobot controller, and then a 30th collection controller. So they're throwing a lot of marketing dollars and just money behind these special controllers, which got me kind of thinking of, like, you know, the consoles are able to switch out body panels, you know, for the colors. The controllers, not so much. You have to buy a whole new controller to get a different color, which kind of begs the question, why didn't we just make the controllers that module too? Why can't we change the body panels of the controller? At this point, it seems like that would have made more sense, but at the same time, they're making a lot of money on people buying controllers. So got a couple of updates. Astrobot's getting a free update, 5 new speedrun levels, and also 10 new bots to rescue, or 10 new character bots to rescue. That's coming fall 2024. TMNT Shredder's Revenge is getting some DLC. Radical Reptiles DLC. This lets you play as Mondo Gecko and Mona Lisa, as well as it includes a remix soundtrack that is actually out now as we speak. Alan Wake 2 is getting another expansion, the Lake House expansion. I assume it's just another story DLC. It was just more of a cinematic trailer. We didn't really see much in terms of gameplay dealing with it. That comes out in October of this year. Lego Fortnite is getting a split screen mode. Oh god, okay. This one, Stellar Blade is also getting updates. It's getting a photo mode, which, to be honest, I don't think we need that. I don't think we need that. That's probably a bad idea. That's probably a really bad idea. If you ask me, you know, like, just imagining what people are going to take snapshots of. Bad idea. Really bad. Abort, leave it and go. No, don't give people the power. Please don't. Aside from that, the OST is available on streaming platforms, so that's really cool. And what's also really neat is that there's crossover DLC between Stellar Blade and Nier Automata. We didn't get any real details of. It was just an announcement of that kind of crossover. It's coming out later this year, so they say. I'm very, very curious to see what that's about. I missed Stellar Blade. I never got a chance to play it, but I did like Nier Automata. So this might get me to actually get into Stellar Bleed. This might get me into Stellar Blade, because I like to see what that DLC is all about. Plus, I still wanted to play this game, so I want to get around to it. That was it as far as like updates and DLC. They had quite a bit of PSVR stuff, more specifically oh my god. I cannot say it. More specifically, PSVR 2 stuff. God damn. A couple of games were announced for that. The Midnight Walk, which is also coming to the original PSVR. We got Metro Awakening. Feel like I've heard the Awakening subtitle quite a lot recently. I don't know. Is it just me? Maybe. I don't know. That's coming November 7th. And then Hitman World of Assassination is releasing in December. So a number of PSVR titles for all of you that have a PSVR. I am not one of them. Okay, so one of the first cool games we actually saw was called Hell Is Us. It seems like it's an action game, kind of in the vein of how modern action games are nowadays. I'm not gonna say it's a Soulsborne Sekiro-like. I'm not gonna say it because a lot of people take argument with that terminology. So I'm just gonna say it's a character action game for right now. It has some of those traits in it from the trailer, but there's also traits of traditional action games where you're fighting like hordes of enemies instead of just like the one-on-one combat that we're kind of used to nowadays. It seemed like it was a mix between like military, science fiction, and like high fantasy. This dude had a drone following him the entire time, almost like he was in Call of Duty. And then he also had like a weird ass sword that he was swinging around, and then he was fighting like these weird ghostly specters and stuff. I don't really know. It seemed cool. It seemed, I guess, more like a a lower budget AA game, maybe. They showed Arch Age Chronicles, which seems like an action RPG as well as like an MMO kinda. They showed a whole bunch of combat of, you know, single player fighting bosses and worldly enemies and stuff like that. But they also showed a lot of, it almost seemed like raid battles where a whole bunch of people were fighting on screen. That's coming in 2025. That looked okay. Power World is finally out on PS5 right now. We'll see how long that lasts because Nintendo is suing the ass at the moment. Lunar Remastered Collection. So this is a collection of PS1 RPGs. Lunar 1 and 2 complete. They are coming to PS4 and PS5. Visual updates, of course, you know, that's expected. Widescreen support coming spring 2025. Sonic X Shadow Generations. So this had a DLC announcement before the game really even comes out. We get a look at Shadow, honestly, it looked pretty bad. And I was kind of confused because it was the movie Shadow that we've seen in the trailers. But that is part of the Sonic 3 movie pack that's coming to this game, basically letting you play through levels inspired by the movie. I don't know if there's actually going to be any story to it. It just seems like there are a series of levels. Keanu Reeves will be voicing Shadow in this DLC, so that's pretty cool. And that's coming out December 12th. So the game releases October 25th, which is like a month away. And then the DLC a couple weeks after that. So that's pretty cool. That's a neat crossover for the game. I'm not mad at that. Then Hironobu Sakaguchi, he came and talked about Fantasia Neo Dimension. We saw this game a while ago, a traditional RPG, turn-based RPG with special trajectory mechanics on magic and the ability to save random encounters for later to better develop your characters. And that's coming December 5th. And then we got a somewhat of an extended boss fight gameplay look from Dragon Age the Veilguard. They were fighting a giant ass dragon and they were playing at, I guess, more of a mage build. This didn't really do anything for me. And to be honest, I feel like this is one of those times where you have to like probably play it to really understand it, because it was a lot of dodging, it was a lot of shooting at the dragon with spells. There were a couple combination attacks that happened. From listening to people talk about this game, it seems like you can like switch between characters on the fly a lot. They didn't really show that from what I recall. So yeah, this demonstration was just kind of eh. And also, it probably doesn't help that nowadays every damn game is becoming an action game, that it kind of looks like every other action game that's coming out, just on the surface, not in terms of how it plays, okay? Just on the surface level, it looks like another action game or another action RPG, so that didn't help it. But again, from what people say, people are really enjoying this, so they either need to show it better to us, or, you know, you just have to get your hands on it.
Few know the truth. I stood with Cain and my brethren until I had the honor of surpassing my Lord. For my transgression, I earned a new kind of reward.
This was a shocker. Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 are getting remastered. I never played the Legacy of Kain games. I remember them coming out vaguely, but I was too young to like actually play them. But I do remember like trailers and stuff of them. This releases December 10th. Visual upgrades. It's really the only thing that you could tell. They didn't really say anything else about it. Maybe I'll get a chance to actually play them, because I know a lot of people love these games. A lot of people speak highly of them. It's, like I said, it's something I missed out on, so at least now they're like readily available for me to try them if I ever get a chance to play them. Fear the Spotlight. We saw this game a couple of times. This is a horror game that's heavily inspired by the PS1 era, mainly because of the polygonal art style they chose to go for. People have been hating on it for that reason. I kind of think it looks pretty cool, if you ask me. It definitely makes it stand out. October 22nd is the release. That's one I would definitely keep an eye out on. Towers of Agasba coming to early access November 2024. This seemed like another kind of one of those survival-ish games where you're like gathering resources and building up your settlement, your tower, as they like to say, along with other players in the world, or you can invite them to like partake in your settlement. So those types of games aren't really for me. So this was kind of just like, whatever, but it's there. Dynasty Warriors Origins is coming next year, January 17th, 2025. If you played Dynasty Warriors before, you know what this is. They showed more of it and I'm just like, this is what I've played for the past 20 years. I'm not a Dynasty Warriors hater. Let me get that straight. I'm not a hater of Dynasty Warriors. I just it's just looking like, you know, stuff I played before. That's all. Monster Hunter Wilds got another trailer focusing on, again, the story and a couple of different monsters that were shown off in here. Forgive me, I don't know if they are new monsters or monsters that have already been in the series before. They're new to me. They also showed off some fishing, some climbing, some more exploration. But it's got a release date, finally, February 28th, 2025. That is when all you hunters out there can go out and get your ass beat by a whole bunch of dragons and whatever the else. Lego Horizon Adventures, we've seen a lot of this game recently. They were just announcing pre-order bonuses here, which were basically just costumes of other PlayStation characters, and that comes out November 14th. And then I see what's next on the list. Okay, this literally made me say what the f out loud as I was watching the presentation. So we got Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered coming to PC and PS5. That's coming October 31st. It's like, did we really need this right now? This is one of those things where it's like, who really asked for this? And as I'm looking at it, Horizon was already released on PC back in 2020. It's just like, yo, what the f are we doing here? I don't know. This just seemed highly unnecessary. Don't get me wrong. Like, I like Horizon Zero Dawn. I personally like Zero Dawn better than Forbidden West, but I don't know. This game didn't need a remaster. This is the same as like the Spider-Man remaster and the Last of Us Part 1 remaster. Like, these games are a generation old. They don't need to be remastered. So like, I don't get what we're doing here. I really don't. I don't get this one. I don't get this one. And I don't know if anything's releasing besides Lego Horizon Adventures. What else Horizon related is releasing for this to, you know, really be necessary? At least Last of Us had the TV show. I can understand that. Spider-Man had Spider-Man 2 coming out. Okay, so, you know, you can remaster Part 1 to get them ready for that. Horizon don't have anything besides Lego. And is knowing the previous games necessary for that? I don't know. So, whatever. And then Mark Cerny showed his face again, talking about PS5 Pro, saying, you know, how they showed several games that really exemplify the difference between PS5 and PS5 Pro. I really argued that statement, but okay. And then we got a list of games that'll have PS5 Pro enhancements. So to go down that list, we got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which was shown like 3 or 4 times. I don't know what the point of this was, but a couple of these games that they listed or they showed off popped up like 2 or 3 times in this whole montage. I guess to show different portions of the game, but you could have just shown that once and been done with it. Anyway, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which was shown 3 to 4 times. Horizon Forbidden West, which they didn't show Zero Dawn, which is weird to me. So I'd imagine Zero Dawn Remastered would have PS5 Pro enhancements as well. I'd imagine it makes sense. The same with Last of Us Part 2. They showed Last of Us Part 2, but it didn't show Part 1. I'd imagine Part 1 would get enhancements, because why would you show one without the other? Gran Turismo 7, Hogwarts Legacy, which was shown twice. Alan Wake 2, Stellar Blade, which was shown twice. Dragon's Dogma 2, Jedi Survivor, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, which was shown 3 times and the game isn't even out yet. What the f? Dragon Age The Veilguard, The First Descendant, The Crew Motor Fest, Resident Evil Village, Demon Souls, Resident Evil 4, F124, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Spider-Man 2, and they had the nerve to say many more as well. Like, okay, all right, anyway. So those are all the games you can look forward to playing on your PS5 Pro if you can get one. And then they ended on an actual reveal. Ghosts of Yotei, I hope I'm saying that right, I'm not sure. But Ghosts of Yotei, which is the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. It's not Tsushima 2, it's a totally new region as far as I know. I'm not quite the historian, so forgive me. Releasing in 2025, and it seems like we'll be playing as a female protagonist this time around, which is really cool. There's a cinematic trailer mixed with some gameplay, a lot of horseback riding. Honestly, it gave me some Red Dead Redemption 2 vibes with that. Also, the fact that they announced this kind of feels like they really wanted to steal AC Shadow's thunder. They really wanted to, because you got the whole female protag in Japan. They said Assassin's Creed, who knew the out the way. I bet a lot of you Ghost of Tsushima stands are very, very vindicated right now, because y'all have been talking so much so much about anything else, especially Assassin's Creed. So y'all are probably flipping chairs and tables and everything else that you can get your hands on right now. A lot of y'all are waiting for this game to be announced, so I can only imagine the conversation that's going to be happening moving forward, leading up to AC's release, after AC's release, leading up to Ghost, and after Ghost, and then everybody comparing the two. I can only imagine what those conversations are going to be like. My 2 cents, get ready for the gang war. That's all I got to say. But yeah, that was the whole presentation. This was fine. This was an okay state of play, I'd say. I wasn't overly excited about too much of anything here. Some nice surprises. Like I said, the Legacy of Kain collection was a nice surprise. Hell Is Us, again, looked pretty cool. Ghost of Yotei, also a nice surprise. The new colors of the PS5 hardware looks pretty sick too. Aside from that, was just either updates or stuff we've already heard about and we're just waiting to come out. So it didn't overly wow me, but I'm not mad at it. But what did you think of the presentation? Are you excited for anything that happened in this state of play? What are you looking forward to? Or did this thing completely suck and you just were like, Sony, why do you waste my time like that? I don't know. You tell me in the comments down below. But that's going to do it for me. I appreciate you making it to the end of this video. As always, if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. I'm Russ, practically out. Later.